didn't miss it. I need you to hear that first, because everything in you right now is trying to convince you otherwise. You've been counting the days. You've been replaying the moments where you thought it was supposed to happen. You've been questioning whether you misheard God, whether you moved too soon, or whether you waited too long. And the longer the silence stretches, the more it feels like the door didn't just close. It feels like it was never meant for you at all. But that's not what's happening here. What you're experiencing right now isn't rejection. It's not punishment. It's not even confusion on heaven's end. This delay you've been sitting in, the one that's made you doubt your discernment and second-guess your calling, was always part of the design. Not because God needed more time to decide, but because you needed more time to become. There's a difference between being called to something and being ready to carry it, and most people never learn that difference because they're too busy demanding the promise show up on their timeline. But you're not most people. You were set apart before you even understood what that meant, and everything that's been withheld from you wasn't taken away. It was held in place until the version of you that's strong enough to steward it finally shows up. That's where you are right now. You've been in a holding pattern, and it hasn't been comfortable. You've watched other people step into opportunities that look exactly like what you've been praying for. You've seen doors open for people who started after you, believed less than you, prepared less than you, and it's messed with your head. Because if God is fair, if God is intentional, then why does it feel like you've been skipped over? Here's why. Because your assignment isn't like theirs. Your capacity isn't like theirs. And the weight of what you're about to carry requires a foundation that can't be rushed. You're not being overlooked. You're being fortified. There's a difference between getting something and being entrusted with something. And what's coming toward you isn't just a breakthrough. It's a mantle. It's a position. It's a level of influence and responsibility that would have crushed the earlier version of you. But if you let bitterness take root right now, if you let comparison make you reactive, you'll step out of alignment right before the release. And I'm telling you that because I've seen it happen. I've seen people wait years, endure the process, build the character, and then lose it all in one moment of impatience because they couldn't sit in the tension for 30 more days. Don't let that be your story. You've come too far to disqualify yourself now. You've been too faithful in the quiet. You've honored God when no one was watching. You've made the right choice in moments where the wrong choice would have been easier and no one would have known the difference. You've walked away from situations that looked good on the surface because you discerned the trap underneath. You've said no when your flesh was screaming yes. You've stayed silent when you had every right to defend yourself. That wasn't weakness, that was warfare. And every single one of those decisions was building something in the unseen that's about to manifest in the physical. Because here's what most people don't understand about delay. It's not passive. It's not God putting you on hold while He figures things out. Delay is active. It's intentional. It's the space where your character catches up to your calling. It's where your emotional stability gets tested. It's where your faith gets refined. It's where your motives get purified. Because God will never release something into your hands that's going to destroy you. And if you're honest, the version of you from 2 years ago wasn't ready for this. You wanted it, you believed for it, but you weren't built for it yet. Now you are. You've been through the stripping, you've been through the isolation, you've been through the seasons where it felt like you were moving backward. You've had to unlearn toxic patterns. You've had to release relationships that were familiar but not fruitful. You've had to sit with yourself, face your own fears, confront your own pride, and let God dismantle the parts of you that were holding you back. That's not fun. It's not Instagram worthy, but it's necessary, and you did it. You didn't quit. You didn't run. You stayed in the fire long enough to let it do its work. And now you're standing on the other side of that process and you're different. You move different. You think different. You respond different. You don't react to everything anymore. You don't need validation from people who don't understand your journey. You don't feel the need to prove yourself or defend your pace. You've learned how to rest in the waiting without spiraling into anxiety. You've learned how to trust God's timing without taking matters into your own hands. That shift, that internal recalibration, is what the delay was protecting. Because the moment you stop needing the thing to feel secure is the moment you're ready to receive it. And the moment you stop being controlled by the timeline is the moment the timeline shifts in your favor. You're there now. You just don't see it yet because you're still looking at what hasn't happened instead of recognizing what has shifted inside of you. Let me tell you what's happening in the spirit right now. There's a release that's already been signed off on. There's a door that's already been unlocked. There's a conversation that's already been set in motion. You can't see it yet because it's still forming in the invisible, but it's moving. And it's not moving slowly. It's moving with momentum. The same way a plane sits on the runway for what feels like forever, and then suddenly accelerates so fast you can barely process it. That's what's about to happen in your life. You've been taxiing. You've been in position. You've been waiting for clearance. And clearance has been given. You just haven't felt the thrust yet. But you will, and when it happens, it's gonna make sense why it didn't happen before. You're gonna look back at this season and realize that if it had come any earlier, you would have mishandled it. You would have celebrated the gift but missed the giver. You would have built something impressive but not sustainable. You would have stepped into influence without the integrity to sustain it. And that's not what God is building through you. He's not giving you a moment, He's giving you a legacy. And legacy requires preparation that most people aren't willing to endure. But you did. You endured it. You didn't understand it, but you trusted it. You didn't enjoy it, but you honored it. And now everything that was delayed is about to be delivered. Not because you earned it, not because you figured out the formula, but because you remained faithful when it would have been easier to walk away. You stayed planted when everything in you wanted to uproot and start over somewhere else. You kept believing when the evidence was screaming otherwise. That's the kind of faith that moves heaven. And heaven is moving right now on your behalf. Things are aligning that you didn't even pray for. Connections are forming that you didn't orchestrate. Opportunities are opening that you didn't apply for. Favor is being released that you didn't negotiate. And it's all happening because you passed the test of the delay. You didn't grow bitter. You didn't grow entitled. You didn't start believing the lie that you were forgotten. You are not forgotten. You never were. You were being prepared, and now you're ready. So take a breath. Stop rehearsing the disappointment. Stop replaying the closed doors. Stop comparing your chapter 12 to someone else's chapter 20. Your story is unfolding exactly the way it's supposed to, and the delay was never a denial. It was a setup. It was protection. It was preparation. And what's about to break open in your life is going to confirm everything you believed in the dark. If this message found you right now, it wasn't by accident. Drop "I receive it" in the comments. And if you need more reminders like this to keep you grounded while you wait, subscribe. This is your season. Don't miss it by doubting right before the shift.